Good morning, Stampers. Welcome to Fairless Stampin' Flair. I am Pat Fairless, an independent Stampin' demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I haven't done a video for a while, but I was putting together a tutorial for my blog post coming up, and I was having a hard time describing how to make this fun fold. It's a gift card fun fold. We learned it at the Creative 8 fall retreat, and it was actually done by my upline, Jackie Volheis. And Jackie doesn't do difficult projects typically. She does easy, and she always says no messy. So I figured, well, this will be a quick and easy tutorial to put together. I had her written tutorial. I had participated in the event and watched the video, the live when she did it. And so I'm trying to figure out how to put the inside of this card together. And this is the card that I made. This is not the one she did. It looks like it's backwards in the picture, but oh well. Anyway, the part I was having trouble with was this inside piece here, which is where the pocket is. And I couldn't figure out how to attach it to this little flap to make sure that this piece, because it is directional, is right side up. And also, not only right side up, but I wanted this side to show because I wanted the darker piece to show between these two flaps. So I thought, well, I'm gonna have to make a video to show you guys how to do this because I am not having great success in doing the tutorial. So let me go ahead and flip my camera down and show you how to do it. I'm not gonna make the whole card. I'm just gonna mainly focus on how to attach, how to do the fun fold part of it and how to get that gift pocket the way I wanted it, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have my bits and pieces here that we're gonna focus on, and I do have the extra pieces, the decorations, we'll call it, pre-made. So I will put the whole card together, but you're just not gonna see all the details of that because that was not the part that's confusing, and you can decorate it any way you want. So this is my tutorial, and you can download this on my blog. There's a link to the tutorial. It's free, so just go ahead and download it. It will have all the dimensions for all the cutting for my particular card. And on the back, this is the inside directions. And then I have two diagrams here. So I'm gonna start, and this was a part, this one was the one, the DSP that goes on the inside was the one I was having a hard time defining in words to make it clear, and I wasn't sure if the picture helped either, so I thought if I go through it with you, it might make more sense. But let's just do this one first. This is the front of the card base. I just used Stick Basic White, and we're gonna score that at 2.5 from the left edge and 1 inch from the right edge. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so there's our 2.5, and then this side, it's usually just easiest on these trimmers to just use the dimensions over here. So I'm gonna grab my bone folder and give these a good burnish. This is the easy part. No problems, not difficult to understand. You'll get this from the directions. So this is the way the card's gonna open. And I've got the little items already assembled. So let me grab my liquid adhesive, which if you've watched me before, you know I'm not a huge fan because I get it all over myself. But we're gonna use it today. And we're just gonna center these on there. Now the dimensions for these panels are all in that tutorial again. This is the easy part. This is the part that's not at all confusing. I had to go back and watch the replay of the retreat because I got glue down here that I don't like. Do you guys have one of these? It's a little adhesive eraser. Mine gets a lot of use. There we go. So that piece is finished. But for this next piece, I could give you these dimensions. These dimensions are on the tutorial, but they are 7 3/4 by 5 1/2. So the height of your card is a standard, and once it folds, it is a standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, got that. Now, the second piece of the Designer Series paper is what we use to create the pocket for our gift card. And what I was having a hard time, like I said, was making sure that this side was up and then understanding how to adhere it over here. So this is the way I want it to be up. And my tabletop is a little dark. I hope you can see this. So I want this to be up when it's closed, right? When it's closed, I want this to be up. And so if this were to lay on here, when we flip it over, this is the side I want to score on. So lay your cardstock or your DSP upside down with the pattern that you want to show facing down. And that's what I have written here in the tutorial. The pattern you want to show on the card front when closed is face down. All right. Now the other thing, this needs to be the 5 3/4 by 5 1/2. And you need to make sure the 5 3/4 is in this direction. So when you cut it, also make sure this is up, because you don't want to do it on this side, because now your pattern's going to be upside down. So you got to make sure this is up, which was my pattern direction, up here, wrong side up, face down. And we will score this on the right-hand side at 1 3/4. So I can't measure 1 3/4 out here. I have to do it over here. And this is where I think I was getting confused. If I could just do 1 3/4 over here, it'd have been much easier, but I couldn't. I guess I could have dimensioned it from this side, but we're just gonna flip it around and score this at 1 3/4. So kind of broke a little bit of my own rule. And maybe as I talk through this with you, it would make more sense to dimension it from the other side and be less confusing. I think in the retreat, it was scored on this side, but when I scored this way, it was really confusing me, okay? So now we're gonna fold this over and give it a burnish. Now here's where I want my little place to grab. So I just grabbed a circle punch. You can use any size circle punch. Mine's 1 1/2, but use whatever you have. It doesn't matter. And just take a little partial circle out of, eyeball the center. And then we're gonna adhere these two edges down. And I could do that with my liquid glue, but like I said, I'm not a liquid glue fan. And I have some old tear and tape here that I'm going to use. If I can find the end of it. And it's a little hard to see, but I'm just going to put it right here on the end, and we will tear that off. This is a narrower tear and tape that I have in my stash. You can use the regular Stampin' Up! Tear and tape. I think I bought this by mistake one time. I think I bought it before I was even a demonstrator. That's how old that is. Because I've been doing this for over 18 years. So it's pretty old. I don't use it a lot, but this was a good use of it. So then we'll just push this down. Again, I like to give it a little bit of a burnish. And now we have our pocket. So now how do I put this on the inside of this card? I struggled with this too, because I'm like, where does it go? Well, when I watched the video, it was pretty easy. When I was reading written directions, it wasn't so clear. So let me explain my tutorial. Here's again our diagram for this inside piece, and I point to this edge over here. So now this piece is still wrong side up, right? Fold it over, direction is up, and now we see the pocket closed. So this arrow indicates fold it this way. That's what I was trying to say by this arrow. Also shows where your little cutout is. And then this ledge or line over here is aligned to the score line for this 1-inch flap. So this gets adhered down right on here and just butt it right up to that score line. So let's go ahead. And then that's it, guys. I don't know why I was struggling. Maybe it's just me. But without a nice visual, I was having a hard time figuring out where to adhere it and where it went. And there we go. It's not as difficult as I made it, for sure, when I was making the one myself from the Creative 8 tutorial. Like I said, I had to go back and watch a video. So now all that's left is decorating. We have the inside here. I've got that finished. Let's just go ahead and add that to the inside. You can decorate these any way you want. And this just goes here in the center, so center it between the two score lines. Little difficult to see sometimes, all the white on white. I got a little goofy thing there I don't like. But I just cut a couple of these labels that come. This is from the Peaceful Garden product suite. I think I used every bit of this suite except the ribbon. I got it done and I'm like, oh, I didn't use ribbon, but it didn't need ribbon, and obviously you don't have to use everything. So now we're going to adhere this, but we want to adhere it only to the left flap. And I like to adhere it with dimensionals. Figure out where you want it. I like it a little bit up, I guess. I also want to make sure that my dove's wings will fit inside. So it needs to be about there. So then I'm just going to pull this over, because the way I like to do this to make sure I don't get dimensionals or adhesive if I'm going to adhere it directly in the wrong place. This way I can line it up with that, put it on this side, and I don't get anything over here. If I sometimes go over here and I start putting dimensionals, I'll get them over here by mistake, and now I've glued it down. Now, and we all know that's not what we want to do, right? So we can then just add some on this side, and we don't have to worry about having them in the wrong place. Since this is a mechanism, kind of, unfold, it's not really a mechanism, but it's going to take a little bit more abuse than normal, because people are probably going to open it using this as opposed to using this, maybe. So I just add a few extra dimensionals. And now if I can just get them off. And now I want to center it on the front, making sure my wings don't stick over the edges, because it just fits. And there we go. Easy, right? Easy once you see it done. Not as easy when you are trying to figure it out from just reading some directions. But I hope that helps. And I hope you try the card and give it a shot. When I get stuck on writing a tutorial again, I'll do my best to come back and give you a little video showing you how to do it. So I hope that was helpful. Have a great day, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.